Welcome to Ring Talk. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, and y'all thought we were done.
No. We took a little break because your boy was sick.
Yep.
Had to take a little bit of a break. We had the holiday weekend as well.
Yeah, we'll had some stuff to cover though. So we
had Survivor Series this past.
Yeah, so what we're going to cover, we got Raw, NXT, SmackDown before Survivor Series, then we have Survivor Series, and then we have Raw, NXT, SmackDown.
Yeah, post.
So
we got the pre-Survivor Series, and post-Survivor Series.
So we have a lot to talk about.
Lots to talk about.
But before we get into it, we had our predictions last week.
Yep.
We tied.
We did tie. And we'll get into Survivor Series, but we tied. I think we both had at least 3 correct, something like that.
Yeah, I think each of us were wrong about one of them.
One match we were each incorrect. So we tied. It happens.
So we got our
punishments. We're going to figure
wheel.
out. So this punishment will apply to the both of us.
Yep. We're going to go ahead and show it on the screen somewhere.
Let's go ahead and go off all the punishments that we got on the list.
So we got the same ones because...
Yeah.
Give us ideas if you have ideas for punishments. Got the slap, got the speech, Sprite challenge. Tyler did that last time. That was fun. New decorations, essay, wax strip, the roast, and no talking. For a segment.
For one whole segment.
What were the essays about? It was about...
It was literally like the other person gives the other person who's writing the essay like a match or a topic. It was more about you have to defend this like decision. So like why Jinder Mahal is like one of the greatest WWE
that's the
champions
example
of all
I was
time.
going to give.
Why Brock Lesnar beating Kofi Kingston in a few seconds was a very smart decision.
Yeah. Oh man! All right.
So here we go. Something like that.
3, 2, 1. Let's spin that wheel. Here we go. Oh, the wax strip
the
again.
wax strips. Those really aren't that fun. Those do kind of sting.
Those suck.
Those sting.
Especially for you.
Yeah, because I'm a hairy... Caysen's not really a hairy guy. I'm much more hairy.
Yeah.
So we'll do that next week. We both got them, so it'll be 2 wax strips apiece. We always do 2.
My recording. There we go.
Next week, you got it. Wax strips coming your way.
Wax strips coming your way.
All right, well, let's kick it into gear. Start talking about some wrestling. Starting off with Raw from November 25th, Raw before Survivor Series.
I know. I have to think back and remember what happened.
So we had Damian Priest and Gunther coming face to face.
Right.
Gunther seemed very shaken. Mm-hmm. And he seems like this world title run, he's been a little unsure of himself. And Priest points that out.
Right.
That, Gunther lost to Cody at Crown Jewel. He barely beat Priest at SummerSlam to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
So now they come face to face, and it ends up getting in a big brawl, which resulted in Priest hitting a razor's edge on Gunther through the announce table. And Priest was standing tall.
That was pretty hype.
Priest was standing tall.
I remember that. Yep.
But the first match of the night was the Creed brothers getting a huge W over Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
American Made, making some waves.
What can I say?
Put that on a bumper sticker right there.
There we go.
Then we had Ludwig Kaiser and Braun Breaker ended in a disqualification.
Yep.
Because Sheamus got involved. That ended in a big brawl. And Adam Pearce came out and was like, you know what? Triple threat match, Survivor Series for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
And then we had the World Tag Team titles on the line. The Judgment Day defeating the War Raiders. And it was a huge title defense. Not many title defenses these guys have had, honestly, if you think about it.
So, with that title defense happening, and we're about to talk about some later. Actually, you know what? We'll talk about it later on the next Raw.
Okay.
I was going to talk about who's their next tag team contenders. I had a team in mind, but I don't want to spoil anything.
We'll get to it. Alpha Academy defeated the New Day, which resulted in a huge argument backstage.
Right.
They brought out all the bad blood.
Mm-hmm.
They got everything out. I mean, this was like mom and dad fighting, kind of just screaming at each other. Xavier Woods brings up Brock Lesnar beating Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston brings up Xavier Woods getting his King of the Ring crown taken away from him by Roman Reigns.
The Tribal Chief.
And it got personal.
It did get
got
personal.
real personal, and it was a little scary to watch.
It's almost as if we need a third man to
mediate this a little bit.
To get balance back. You know.
Yeah.
Power positivity.
Bring it back. Because this was not positive.
This was not positive.
Not at
this
all.
was harmful to the New Day.
Yeah, absolutely. In the main event, Bianca Belair defeated Nia Jax to give their team the War Games advantage.
Right.
With help from Bayley. Because remember, Jade Cargill had been attacked on the SmackDown before. Now Bayley comes in to save the day. It looks like she's going to be the other member of the Team Ripley at War Games. NXT, November 26th. A lot of Iron Survivor qualifying matches. You had Ethan Page defeating Axiom to qualify. And then in just a normal match, you had Lola Vice defeating Ren Sinclair. You had Tony D'Angelo retaining his NXT North American Championship against Shawn Spears. Julia defeating Kalani Jordan to qualify for the Iron Survivor. Fallon Henley then defended her title against Tatum Paxley, but then we had the return of Gigi Dolan.
That was hype.
Taking out Fatal Influence, who she's got a lot of history with JC Jane.
Yeah.
There.
Is she a
It's just babyface.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's kind of teaming up with Tatum Paxley.
Is she a future women's champion in the main roster?
This is
Gigi Dolan.
Yeah, this is a good push for her.
Yeah.
She's on her own kind of now.
Right.
Moving on to SmackDown, we had basically the show opened with a big brawl between both women's War Games teams.
I mean, we gotta build it up somehow.
Mm-hmm. And they all got to get on the same page, especially on Team Ripley.
Right.
Where you got Bayley get thrown into this mix. She's got a lot of different issues with a lot of people on that team. Io Sky.
Right.
I mean, they had the classic WrestleMania match and all the damage control history. Bayley and Bianca have been going at it for the last couple of years. So there's some cracks in there already. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Andrade. When LA Knight tried to, I guess, get a little sneak attack, it did not work out for him because he got hit by the mist.
Right. Shinsuke, he still has this
tactics. What do you call this new version of Shinsuke? What do you call this? It's just it's like a mystery, a mystique kind of character.
Assassin.
He's an assassin of some kind.
I mean, the new face paint looks sick. I just want to point that out.
Well, face paint looks real good. Real good. Cody Rhodes defeated Carmelo Hayes in the match. Then in a women's United States Championship tournament match, you had Michin defeating Lash Legend and Piper Niven. Now Michin, I think, has got a good shot at winning this whole thing.
Right.
She's one of the women that I think could maybe go all the way.
Yeah. I can see it.
And then in the main event, Jacob Fatu defeated Jey Uso to gain War Games advantage.
Yeah, so the Bloodline has the advantage.
Yep.
The new Bloodline.
New Bloodline.
New Bloodline.
All right, now we're getting into the big stuff. Survivor Series.
Yeah, this is the stuff that, this is what you're here for.
Kicking it off with the women's War Games match.
And Team Rhea, as we both predicted, won the match. Crazy match.
What'd you think of the match?
I mean, it was destruction. Mm-hmm. What can I say? It's everything you can expect in a War Games. It did not disappoint. Despite all the differences between the women, they pulled out the victory. Yeah, that's all that matters.
And we saw Io Sky, who I think it's safe to say she is Miss War Games.
Right.
Jumping off the cell or the cage, whatever you want to call it, in a trash can. She does this like every War Games.
Let's not forget what Tiffany Stratton did in the middle of the match, pulling out the briefcase.
So this was when I was deep sick. I was real sick watching Survivor Series. I was just laying in bed watching it, and when I saw her pull out the briefcase, I shot up and about knocked myself out getting so dizzy. I'm running a fever, but I was like, because we talked about this, like, what if she cashed in? Either after the match or like mid-match.
They should have done it. They should have let it happen.
Because it'd be just such a history-making moment, because it's never been done before. But nothing we've ever seen before.
Cashing in on your tag partner.
In the middle of a Wargames match.
Right. That's like two things in itself.
No one would ever forget it. That's what makes a superstar, those kinds of moments.
But hey, I still think you're right. I still think we're going to get Tiffany Stratton.
Before the end of the year.
We're
running out of time.
We're really close. It is now December 7th.
We are running out of time.
We have 24 days.
I'm not doing the math.
24 days.
But yeah, Team Rhea picked up the W. Did you see the part where they were beating Rhea with a bat?
Yeah. Gruesome.
What did you think of her mask that she had on? A little scary horn mask.
I don't know. It really reminded me of the Wyatt Six.
Wyatt Six looking mask.
For some reason.
Well, it didn't protect her because she got the crap beat out of her by some bats. None of these women came out unscathed. I mean, all of them were cut up. It's a rough match.
Hey, it's a war game.
It's war.
It's war.
It's war. War games.
Next. What's next?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Pulling off the upset.
I'd safe to say, do you say it's an upset?
I'd say it's an upset.
Definitely the way he won was unexpected.
Right. He dominated. It was almost Braun Breaker dominating Sami Zayn whenever he won it.
I mean, yeah, so it's like, let's make it official. Shinsuke Nakamura is the new United States champion.
Right. I was right about this prediction.
You were. You felt confident about it, and I'll give it to you.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. Which I'm looking at it now, and it makes sense because if he would have lost,
it would have done nothing. It would have
done. He was gone straight back down because he's on a rise.
Right.
He's on a tear.
They're definitely pushing for Shinsuke to reach back to where he was.
He looks unstoppable right now.
Right. The question is who is going to stop Shinsuke?
I don't know. And do you think this is Shinsuke's last opportunity to really be a main event star?
I think it is because we've given him too much because with Seth Rollins and that whole rivalry did nothing for him.
We've always said, and I think it'll go down as one of the biggest missed opportunities in WWE history.
He should have won it.
Should have won the title at Mania against Styles.
But so do you think this will be the last we see of LA Knight going for that title?
No, because he comes out on SmackDown.
He does.
He does come on SmackDown. So I think we'll get a little bit, but I don't think he'll be the one to take the title back.
I don't think so.
I think eventually we'll see LA Knight kind of start moving on to some bigger and better things. I think the crowd still is on that LA Knight hype train. So I think they could put him in the WWE title picture.
Which, I don't know about that because,
maybe not right now, but I think next year.
I think after Mania is whenever they're going to push him.
We can start seeing him. But, we'll see what they do with LA Knight going forward.
I feel like with LA Knight, they should focus on making, memorable rivalries that don't have the title on the line, maybe. Maybe, Kevin Owens or somebody. Mm-hmm. Because I don't see him put him in the title picture yet because Cody still has all this other stuff going on.
Now, they announced this Friday that they have what do they call it? The transfer portal.
Yeah.
Is open. So now we're going to start seeing some people getting flip-flop.
So I'm guessing.
So LA Knight could be going to Raw, maybe going after the world title. Maybe LA Knight wins the Rumble.
Maybe.
Gunther versus LA Knight at WrestleMania.
Maybe.
It's just a thought.
I mean, we've definitely, during, we keep saying this, them promoting the first Raw on Netflix, mm-hmm. They're showing SmackDown superstars on there.
Yeah, they're going to bring in a lot of people.
Maybe transfer time will come near that, but...
just before the new year.
Right. Because we saw the Bloodline on there, the new Bloodline.
Yeah. And I'm assuming Roman's going to be there.
I'm sure everybody's going
to be there.
Cody
will be there.
John Cena
will be there.
The Rock.
Rock might be there. I have been hearing some rumbles that they are creating some plans in case The Rock cannot do Mania. Because I think there is a solid chance that he might not be able to.
Which I hope that doesn't make it to where they push this Cody Rhodes title reign even longer waiting for that.
Well, I think what I've heard an idea, they might go for Cody versus Roman versus Punk at Mania. Triple threat for the title.
I like that way more.
Because Punk's been talking about how Paul Heyman owes him a favor.
Right.
And who knows what that could be.
And then LA Knight and Gunther at Mania.
LA Knight and Gunther at Mania, possibly. Possibly.
I feel like they're definitely set up for Punk and Seth Rollins at Mania, though.
Yeah, especially with that happening on Raw.
We'll talk about that, though.
Moving on to the Intercontinental Championship match.
Braun Breaker, Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser. I feel like this one was somewhat expected. This outcome. I mean, like, there's some minds in the back of my head that said maybe Sheamus. I didn't think Ludwig was going to win it, to be honest with you.
No, but he looked good.
He did look good. He's entertaining. But Braun Breaker gets the win. It was a really close match. Sheamus was so close to winning it.
Multiple times.
And Ludwig pulled the ref out of the ring. I'm talking about that specific part. You remember that? Mm-hmm. That was
because I think Sheamus had the win.
He had the win. But Braun Breaker had other ideas.
Yeah.
So
Braun Breaker, just that boy can move.
We're ready. Yep.
Hit that spear and it's over.
Let's go and talk about Gunther and Damian Priest.
Yes.
So let's talk about the elephant. Finn Balor once again. We are sick of Finn Balor getting involved.
I think Gunther was sick of Finn Balor getting involved.
After Finn Balor hit the coup de grace on
Damian Priest,
here comes Gunther, just boots him right in the head.
Big boot to the face.
Right to the face.
Basically, a statement, get out of my business.
Right. So I'm definitely seeing something, maybe like a triple threat between Gunther, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, maybe.
Well, it was made official on Raw that Gunther will defend his world title against Finn Balor at Saturday night's main event.
And I think Damian Priest is going to get involved during that, which is going to cause us to have a...
And then, I hate trying to make plans for Royal Rumble because you got to remember, Royal Rumble is not until late January.
Yeah.
So we're still going to have...
A while.
A month before that.
Right.
So that's a long time to kind of plan for things.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of title stuff happening on the first Raw event.
Yeah, they'll push some things there. I think that's where we're going to see the Women's Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah.
On that first Raw. However, Gunther, anyways, he saw, even after what had happened, he still had to get the job done. And so he put the sleeper hold.
Yeah.
And Priest passed out.
Won the match. Well, let's talk about the big match of the night.
Mm-hmm. The main event.
The main event, Wargames. OG Bloodline and the new Bloodline. At first, we see a lot of miscommunication. Because Roman Reigns and CM Punk...
Not on the same page.
Not on the same page at all.
They just don't... They don't want to be around each other. I mean, Punk's got his own agenda, obviously. Right. Roman just wants to get the job done. Mm-hmm. He didn't want Punk around anyways. Did you see when Punk came out, how he pushed Bronson Reed and kind of got everybody going?
Yeah.
In the shark cage? I thought that was cool. But the match itself, I think, was good. Crazy moments from Bronson Reed jumping off of the top.
Tsunami, yeah.
And you see what happened to his foot? It snapped it in half. So he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, poor Bronson Reed. Just as soon as he was getting in the rise.
And he I mean, it's safe to say you could consider him maybe the MVP of the new Bloodline team of that match.
Yeah, poor Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
But I feel like the main thing that really switched things for the OG Bloodlines whenever CM Punk saved Roman Reigns.
From that tsunami.
And Roman Reigns and then Punk kind of got on the same page after that.
It's like, all right, let's do it.
And they won.
Roman
gets the pin on Solo Sikoa.
Now let me ask you this. In your opinion, the way you feel, does this kill the new Bloodline? Even though they're still around, do you think they're capable of getting back to where they were in a top position?
I don't think so.
Now that they've lost to the Bloodline?
I don't think so. I think because isn't Roman and Solo happening at the Saturday night?
It's not official or anything.
I'm sure it will.
You think it'll happen?
Because we need a match between those two before everything ends.
It could happen on the Raw.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I feel like after that, though, I think that's when it's over. And
then, what else do you do?
There's nothing else you can really do.
Unless they win.
Yeah.
Unless the new Bloodline wins.
There's nothing you can do.
I almost think maybe they should have won.
Right.
If you think about it. Because where do they go from here?
That's why
you picked them. You picked them. You're like, well, if they lose, where do they go?
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question.
We'll see.
What do you think of Survivor Series as a whole, though? I thought it was all right.
Wasn't bad. It didn't disappoint me.
Didn't disappoint. Did you feel so when the match ended and they're all celebrating? Did you feel like the celebration just kind of went a little too long?
Yeah.
Because I remember
there was going to be like a return.
Yeah, I was like, okay, are we setting up for something? Because this is taking a while. They're all just kind of walking back. CM Punk literally walked backstage. I don't think he knew he was supposed to walk back out and everybody was going to pose. Yeah. Because then he comes back out and they all do the ones and Punk does the go to sleep pose. He does, like I stated earlier, he says Paul Heyman owes him a favor. Right. What do you think that favor is?
I mean, it's like a spectrum. There's so many.
Title match? Is it a match with Roman? A main event match at WrestleMania?
Dude, I don't know.
Is that
maybe a match with Gunther? Maybe a match against Seth Rollins?
Paul Heyman's got some pull.
Right. Mm-hmm. I feel like we were gonna find out what that favor was until Seth Rollins interrupted CM Punk.
You want to start talking about that a little bit?
Let's talk about it.
Let's go into Raw. Kicks off with CM Punk, kind of just celebrating. Right. The big win. He's interrupted by Seth Rollins. Yeah. Who kind of says what we've talked about, how he would probably feel is Punk's getting in his business.
Right. Seth Rollins was saying that he was going to beat up Punk after the Hell in a Cell match, but he had pity for him.
He had pity for him.
And he said that was a bad decision, and he wants to go back.
He wants to correct that mistake. Yeah. And Punk's talking about, Punk said something that I think really got under Rollins' skin is that he doesn't even think about him. Right. And I think that really got under Seth Rollins' skin.
Yeah, Seth Rollins always is thinking about Punk and thinking about what he wants to do to Punk, and Punk is like, this entire time I haven't even thought once about you.
He hates that he's not on his mind.
Right. Punk has other things.
Because Rollins only has Punk on his mind. I think for the last year, Rollins has had Punk on his mind.
After Seth Rollins and Punk got into a little brawl.
It looked like they were throwing dukes.
Yeah. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso separate them.
Yeah. And then Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins kind of got in a big old spat. Which ended in a...
The main reason that Seth Rollins was so mad at Sami is because Sami went right back to Roman after everything.
Right back to Roman. And it seems that seems to be a recurring issue with a lot of people.
Right. He was like...
Like Kevin Owens.
He was like, okay, Jay's family, but what's your reason?
What's your reason?
And that set off a lot.
Because Sami believes he is family. Right. And that's something that really sets him off, is when you demean him in that way. And
then they have a main event match that they both agreed on after that little altercation. Mm-hmm. Let's go and talk about Jey Uso. He got beat up backstage.
He got beat up. We don't know who did it.
Yet.
Technically.
Officially,
we don't know who did it.
I'm sure we know after what happened at the end of the show.
We'll see. However, that first match of the night was a women's tag team match. We had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeating Damage Control. Right. Big win considering we got Liv Morgan and Io Sky coming up on Saturday night's main event for the Women's World Championship. Rhea tried to get involved. Didn't really work out.
Yeah. I'm sure that Liv is probably going to keep that title. I don't see...
Yeah, I think it'll be a good match. Let me ask you this. Io Sky, do you believe right now in the WWE Women's Division, is she the best?
Io Sky.
Io Sky.
Does she have a title?
Is that what makes her the best? I mean, just from...
From that Battle Royale, I guess you can make the point.
I truly think, skill-wise, I think she's got charisma. I think she can play with the crowd. I think she's the best that WWE has to offer.
Right now?
I truly believe that. And I think she may be the greatest of all time. And I know that's a hot take. I think she's better than Charlotte Flair.
Wow.
I think Io Sky is maybe the greatest of all time. Better than Trish Stratus.
Wow.
I think Io Sky is the greatest of all time. I think she's that good.
If that's what you think.
That's a hot take.
If that's what you think.
Is that a hot take? Do you feel like that's a hot take?
I say we let the people decide. I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
I'm going to just
I truly do. I think she is the best.
You think she's the best?
I think she's really the... I think
won the title only once through a Money in the Bank cash in.
And look how long she held it. Look how she held it all the way to Mania.
She had damage control with her, though.
Hey. It ain't about how you win. It's that you win. But I truly do. I truly do think she is the best. I think she's what WWE has to offer.
Physically and just the character that she is, she's doing great at her job.
Yeah,
But I don't know about it being better than all these other greats we've seen.
I think she is. I really do.
We'll
wrestling ability, I think she's the best.
You put this on YouTube Shorts and we'll see what the comments say.
I think charisma, I think she really does have some great charisma. That walk she does when she's coming down to the ring, I don't know what you call that. It looks like she's drunk half the time, but I don't know. It's just,
I will say
it's her thing.
She is something we have never seen before.
It's something, yeah. She's similar, I guess, to Asuka. I guess both being from Japan, they have similar backgrounds.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Asuka, isn't she still hurt now?
Yeah. I think she may have had surgery.
There we go.
So hopefully she gets back here soon. But yeah, personally, I think Io Sky is the best.
Speaking of surgery, what's next? Is it? It's the one after this. Okay.
After we had the first women's Intercontinental Championship tournament match.
Right. We got Dakota Kai
defeating Katana Chance and Shayna Baszler. I think Dakota Kai's winning this whole thing.
I was saying that too. Yeah.
I think this is her time to shine.
Dakota Kai she's cool.
She's cool.
She's good.
Big dominant win.
I could see her being the new Intercontinental champion, and it's SmackDown at the United States Championship. I'm not sure yet.
I'll say who I think is going to be in the finals.
Michin and who?
Michin and Chelsea Green.
If Chelsea Green wins it,
let's go.
I'll be fine with you.
We will have a whole Chelsea Green themed episode.
We'll have a poster of Chelsea Green in the back of all of our episodes.
All right, moving on. Let's get to it.
This is what really matters tonight.
Let's get to it. Throughout the night, they've been celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the New Day.
Yeah.
Showing clips, great memories. You've always known the New Day.
Yeah.
Your whole time as a WWE fan, you've known the New Day.
Yeah.
And so this was a big night. 10-year anniversary.
They showed all the things that had some nostalgia to the New Day.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I remember that. I remember that.
The pancakes, the big old box of cereal.
The Bootios.
Oh my goodness.
When this guy was a little kid, he would all the time, W-E.
All right. Let's go and talk about it, man. So they show up. First of all, they talk about the fans. They want to... They say thank you to the fans.
This definitely feels like a parent sitting their child down telling them they're about to get a divorce.
Right.
That's exactly how this felt.
It's exactly.
And I feel like that's a conversation they had before going out for the segment. That's the kind of mindset they went in was, we're going to treat this as a parent's getting a divorce.
Right. They're like, this decision that we're about to make has nothing to do with y'all and all this stuff.
It's not you guys. It's us.
And apparently we all had a different idea of what they're going to do.
Yeah.
We all thought they're going to break up.
Go the separate ways.
But really, they're going to kick someone out of the New Day.
So first, Big E makes his return. We all expected it.
Right.
We were like, let's get Big E in, of course.
Y'all want to go big? Then say that.
Chill.
All right, then he shows up.
Trying to do what we were just saying earlier,
Right.
mediate, try and fix it, saying that he's going to officially be back in a manager role.
Right. He was like saying, after all my recovery and stuff, still have a little more recovering to do. I'm here as a manager.
Yeah.
And then they're like...
Yeah, well then first it was Xavier Woods. He was
now
like...
you show up?
Now you show up. You could have came back. Now you want to show up? And then what surprised me was Kofi was the same exact way.
Kofi was like, you left us.
Like,
that is what
was
surprised me out of
I was
everything.
like, whoa, Kofi is on board with Woods.
With Woods, I was like, okay, that's expected. But Kofi, I was like, okay.
Okay.
So
what's going on here?
I was like, okay, so this is going to be a New Day heel turn.
Because then you start feeling, you're just like, no way. No way both of them are turning heel.
Because it's so hard to see Kofi as that kind of heel.
Yeah.
I could see Xavier Woods as it, but Kofi, I was so surprised. But it was sick. It was, they're like talking about Big E, how he left us, how he could have come back earlier.
They said Stone Cold Steve Austin broke his neck.
And came back.
They said Kurt Angle broke his neck.
And came back.
They said Edge broke his neck.
And came back.
And they're saying you couldn't come back.
Yeah, Xavier Woods had surgery and came back in 9 months.
On his Achilles, I believe.
Right. Big E didn't even need surgery.
Now that I didn't know.
He didn't need.
When they said that, I didn't know he didn't need surgery.
You didn't know that?
No. That was the first one I heard that.
His like muscles are like so like big or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know he didn't need surgery.
Yeah.
It was still so messed up.
Yeah.
He can't wrestle.
He was like, I've been trying so hard to come back, and they're like, you left us. And let's be honest, you're not coming back.
You're never coming back. And they kick him out.
So they're like, so how about you get on and get out of our ring?
Get out of our ring.
And
at first he gets, and then he comes back in. He's like, no, I'm not leaving you guys.
I'm not letting this happen.
And then again he leaves.
He leaves. It's a heartbreaking moment for Big E.
He told him to go back to his girlfriend.
Yeah, because they brought up the girlfriend, how he put her before them.
And you know who Big E's girlfriend is?
Who's Big E's girlfriend?
Meechin's sister.
Oh, wow.
Because Meechin's married to Keith Lee.
Yeah, I remember that.
Her sister, I guess, is dating Big E.
That's funny. But, yeah, it's just like, I was not expecting that.
No.
I was expecting Xavier Woods to beat up Kofi.
I think everybody expected Kofi
to get beat up.
Get like thrown through all the New Day props.
I have a lot of questions coming out of this. Mm-hmm. First question, will we ever see Big E again?
That's a great question.
In the ring.
I hope so. I hope so.
Do you think like the next thing we see from Big E is going to be him and the New Day in their own little rivalry maybe?
I think first, once Big E gets the clear, yeah, I think that's the first thing that kicks off.
Right.
It makes me hopeful that they're setting up this kind of story, that Big E will come back. It makes me hopeful.
I feel like they wouldn't
They wouldn't do this.
Yeah, do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so...
It's a new day for the New Day.
It's really unexpected. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, are they the next team to win the tag team titles?
I think they're all, yeah.
I think it's very obvious.
I think if they let them cook, the New Day is back.
Because the crowd wasn't even booing it. The crowd was like just
in disbelief.
Just quiet. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I love this. I love that they're keeping them together. I love the heel turn. Mm-hmm. It's how they started out as heels.
Because I think they need each other.
Right.
I think we were worried that if these guys went out on their own, it wouldn't work out.
Right.
I think they need each other.
I think Triple H knew that as well.
They knew it.
And
he's like, this is an opportunity to do something we haven't done before with these guys. And let's see if we can pull it off.
So now we're going to see a New Day that will do whatever it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing it's just us two now. That's what they said after Big E left the ring. It's just us now.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see where it goes. I just can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be the team to take the titles off of Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
All right. What's next?
We got Gunther defeating Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
Finn Balor kind of just tasking Dominic with trying to soften Gunther up.
Right, and...
It We felt like this was a very lopsided match.
He was like, let me show you how it's done, kid, after the match, after he beats up Gunther. How many coups de grace does he give to him? Like 2 or 3?
Something like that. It feels like Finn Balor's trying to take over.
Right.
The Judgment Day.
He is definitely, he says there's no leaders. Meanwhile, we see him as a leader
I think he's the leader. I'm going to say it. I think within a year, Finn Balor will be World Heavyweight Champion.
Within a year.
Within a year, Finn Balor will be World Heavyweight Champion.
So next year at December 7th, if he is not champion, we are deleting this podcast and we will...
me out. I truly do. I think they're going to start pushing him more.
Right.
And I think... I think he'll be World Heavyweight Champion.
There we go. I mean, there's
which
nothing
is about
else you can
freaking
say.
time.
Yeah.
I think everybody's said the fact that he has not won a world championship again since that Universal title is ridiculous.
Right.
We had R-Truth defeating Pete Dunne.
Yep. All because Butch got in his head.
Butch.
I'm glad that they're still having R-Truth win matches, though. So.
Yeah, and they're getting Pete Dunne involved because Pete Dunne deserves a raise.
Do you think that Pete Dunne's not done with Truth?
Probably not. They'll probably drag this out a little bit more.
Yeah. I really wish they pushed for Truth to be part of the Wyatt Six stuff.
That'd be funny.
I'm part of the Wyatt Six now.
Which we find out that is it scheduled for this next week or is it Saturday night's main event?
I think it's next week.
I don't think it's Saturday night's main event. I think it's on Raw.
It's on Raw, I'm pretty sure.
The Final Testament versus
Wyatt Six
match.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Hype.
Let's get it cooking.
Isn't it Wyatt Six and The Miz, right? I mean, not
Final Testament and The Miz.
Final Testament and The Miz.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. During the night, we had seen Jey Uso get attacked backstage. Everybody thinking maybe it's Seth Rollins.
Right.
Then we get Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn.
And
people are waiting to see if Seth Rollins is going to bring out
the heel
Seth Rollins.
But it gets a little crazy. It gets to the point where Sammy even brings a chair inside the ring to hit Seth Rollins. He's like, I know what you did to Jey Uso. And Seth is like, what are you talking about? I didn't do that.
Sammy can't pull himself to do it.
And
cost him the match.
Sammy, he realized that Seth was telling the truth. And
yes, Seth said, you got a lot of heart, but you got to start using your head.
Right.
Seth leaves the ring, walks backstage.
As he's walking to the backstage, Claymore right to Sami Zayn.
He's back, baby.
Drew McIntyre.
He is back.
So I'm pretty sure we know who attacked Jey Uso.
Well, we don't know for sure.
I think that's what it was.
Well, hypothetically, if it is
Most
Drew
likely.
McIntyre, it would make sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would understand why Drew McIntyre would be mad at Sami Zayn. Obvious reasons.
Why you would be mad at Jey Uso for obvious reasons.
Mad at CM Punk for obvious
reasons.
Mad at all of them for obvious reasons.
3 people feel the same way. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, yeah.
That's a banger stable right there.
Do we have a new faction?
That's an unstoppable faction right there.
I was thinking about this the other day, but I knew it was so ridiculous. What if we had a faction of all the Paul Heyman guys?
It's a lot. I mean,
like Roman Reigns, CM Punk,
Brock
Lesnar.
Unstoppable.
That would be crazy.
Be unstoppable.
That would be the most weird, unexpected.
Just be OP.
OP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Drew McIntyre is back. What do you think they're going to do with Drew McIntyre?
I'm guessing we're going to see a Bloodline Drew McIntyre story maybe rise up, maybe. Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Drew McIntyre. Something along that line. I'm not too sure. It's a little too early. I think most likely it's just going to be Sami and Drew. But we'll see.
We'll see. That's it for Raw. Let's move on to NXT. The last NXT before Deadline, which is tonight. We're recording this on Saturday. Vince Sinclair wins the Last Chance Iron Survivor Qualifier Fatal 4-Way match. Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights win the number 1 contender tag team battle royal.
Right.
So they're of the No Quarter Catch crew. And they are now going to get a title match at Deadline. So that means that Nathan Frazier, who's in the Iron Survivor match, is also going to be pulling double duty and have a tag team title match.
Right.
A little upset Hank and Tank didn't pick up the W. I think everybody was. They were killing it. Carmen Petrovic defeated Nikita Lyons. Kind of been having a little love triangle with Ashante.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, Ashante pushes Carmen out of the way, takes a little blow from Nikita Lyons, but Carmen picks up the W anyways. However, she was upset with Ashante.
I mean,
that he pushed her.
Right.
Women, they never appreciate anything.
We're going to get canceled for that now.
Yep. Gigi Dolan, however, defeated Izzy Dame in her big return match.
Yep.
However, Sean Spears was on the entranceway, just kind of observing the match.
Do you think that part of the new faction that we've been
trying to recruit somebody new?
Right.
We'll see. It'd be a good position for either one of these women.
Right.
Izzy Dame or Gigi Dolan. Eddie Thorpe won the men's last chance fatal 4-way match.
Yep.
And then the night ended with Roxanne Perez coming out, doing what she always does, bragging about herself.
Yeah.
And then all the Iron Survivor women came out and just started a big brawl.
Right.
That's how the night ended. Moving on to SmackDown. This past SmackDown, December 6th. Chad Gable from Raw is there. And a heated promo battle between him and Cody Rhodes.
Shorty G.
He brings up Shorty G. Cody Rhodes also brings up Stardust. How they were both presented in a way they didn't feel was them. But now look at them now.
Yeah.
Two big stars.
Well,
And
one of them being big.
well, it depends on how you look at it.
I mean, like...
I get it. Chad Gable, however, laid down the challenge to Cody Rhodes. Can't say he doesn't got a big heart. Got some...
Yeah, do you think this is setting up for Cody and something with Kevin maybe, or...
Maybe. We had another Women's United States tournament match. Tiffany Stratton defeated Naomi and Elektra Lopez.
We got to push Tiffany a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Tiffy time. The crowd loves Tiffy. Bianca Belair defeated Piper Niven in what was actually a banger match. It was a really good match. LA Knight demanded a rematch from Shinsuke Nakamura. However, he was interrupted by Andrade,
Yeah.
who felt like he wanted a title match. LA Knight was like, you wait your turn. But then they were interrupted by the Bloodline,
Yeah.
who took him out. And Shinsuke kind of just stood there. He had that mist kind of coming down his face, kind of looked freaky and cool. Then he left the ring. And Solo kind of just states that they're still here.
Mm-hmm.
They're still the Bloodline. They're not stopping.
Yeah.
During the night, we had found out that the Street Profits had been attacked backstage. Kind of like Jey Uso. At the time, we didn't really know who did it. But they had a title match that night. They obviously couldn't do it. So DIY steps in. Johnny Gargano pleads to Nick Aldis, say, hey, give us the match. We'll step in.
And what can I say? It actually got them the championships.
Yeah.
And a new look to DIY.
Yeah, so throughout the match, it just looked like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were not on the same page. That this was like it for him.
Yeah.
Tommaso even said that DIY was dead.
We have something else now.
And then he goes to get a chair. So Johnny Gargano's the legal participant in the ring. Tommaso gets a chair. I don't know what people were thinking he's going to do. Ref's stopping him. And then Johnny Gargano hits a low blow. And then, for everybody, it's starting to click.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this was all a ruse.
Yeah.
And they hit the meet in the middle move. Pin. New WWE Tag Team Champions. 2-time Tag Team Champions.
With that being the case, what's next for Motor City Machine Guns?
I mean, I think they're going to continue a rivalry with DIY. Street Profits will be back soon, and we'll get a match there.
Yep.
Probably a triple threat match coming down the line.
I could see it.
But this is a really heel turn week.
Well, yeah, especially for tag teams.
Right, tag team division.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Earlier in the night, Michael Cole had to go all the way to the back to Kevin Owens' rental car to conduct an interview with him. And Michael Cole basically just said that Kevin Owens was the problem.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, he hates hearing that. He hates that people don't understand where he's coming from. I understand where he's coming from. However, I did think it was interesting. He mentions Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Which means he notices what Sami Zayn's been doing.
He definitely doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it. So what's going to happen? Is this a WrestleMania match coming down the line again?
I could see
Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens?
They always pull off bangers. You know the two.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, this is one of those rivalries that I think will go till the end of time.
Right.
Well, Cody Rhodes then had his main event match against Chad Gable. Banger match.
Of course, Cody wins.
Cody wins, obviously. And then, however,
Kevin Owens
shows up. Goes after the ankle that Chad Gable had injured with his ankle lock earlier in the match. And Kevin Owens is just hammering down on that ankle. And then Cody gets up, starts brawling back. People are trying to break it up. This rivalry's coming to a head. Saturday night's main event. Undisputed WWE Championship.
Is that next week, Saturday?
It's next week. It's a week from today.
It's hype. It's hype.
Hype. They're shaping up this show. Jesse Ventura is going to be a special guest announcer.
Right.
He was in the crowd for SmackDown.
It's hype.
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 It's going to be a good night. Good night.
So that's our recaps. A lot of questions raised. We're going to get answers next week. I feel like. Next week is going to be a week of answers.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about our 3 match reviews.
3 match reviews.
We decided not to do our top 10.
Just because we had a lot to talk about.
We had so much to talk about. It's already been like 40 minutes.
About 50 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
About 50 minutes.
So we're going to go ahead and do our 3 match reviews. We did Wargames
matches. So we'll go from oldest to newest match.
So
it was the 2019 men's Wargames match.
Men's Wargames. So that was...
So you had, on one side, you had Undisputed Era.
And Team Ciampa.
So it was like Tommaso Ciampa, Dijak was on the team.
Dijak.
Keith Lee, and then the mystery partner was Kevin Owens.
Right.
So, and then you had Bobby Fish, Roger Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole.
5 tables were put through that night.
Yeah, everybody was getting put through tables.
And I feel like the craziest part was the white noise from Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, the finish of the match.
Insane.
That would break every bone in my body.
Right.
I would die.
And also the Panama Sunrise, whenever he did that, like in the middle of
Kevin Owens?
Yeah. That was
on
sick.
that steel.
It was just a great match in general. Undisputed Era had the advantage.
Yeah.
And whenever the mystery partner wasn't showing up, they're like, oh, they had nobody.
They got nobody.
Kevin Owens' music plays, though.
The crowd erupts.
It was hype.
It was hype.
Yeah, Kevin Owens hits all of his like signature like moves that are in NXT as well, and he was wearing his NXT fit.
Yeah, he had an NXT fit on there.
That was sick.
Crowd was chanting "Welcome back."
Yeah, it was a really cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 5 stars, what do you give that Wargames match?
I'll give it a 4.
I'll give it a 4. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Let's talk about the women's.
Women's from 2020.
Yeah.
Another NXT match. So it was, see if I can remember everybody. You had Dakota Kai on one side.
Right.
And then who else was on her team?
Dude.
I know on the other side you had Ember Moon was there. Shotzi was on there.
Yeah.
You had Rhea Ripley there.
Was Io Sky a part of this match?
And Io Sky.
Yeah.
And Raquel. No, Raquel was on the other team.
Okay.
Raquel was on the other team. You had Dakota Kai, Raquel, Candice LeRae, and who else am I missing? Or is that all of them? Was it 4-on-4?
We only had 3 on one of the teams.
We only had 3 on one of the teams.
Women's NXT War Games
2020.
This is embarrassing. 2020. Rhea Ripley.
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm. There we go.
Storm.
Yep.
One of the women that I hope one day comes back to WWE, Ember Moon.
She's hype.
She's really good.
Yeah.
And
what was the reason she left? Was it
just management? I don't think she really enjoyed being there, honestly.
I mean, she's in NXT.
Yeah, she was killing it in NXT.
She probably thought she wanted to be in the main roster.
She was for a little bit, but she just wasn't getting.
She wasn't getting it though.
Getting the what she wanted, what she deserved. Io Sky did her thing. At the time, she was called Io Shirai.
Right.
Did the jump off the top with the trash can. Because she couldn't get in the cage.
Right.
They had locked it up, and she had to climb up
with the trash can.
With the trash can and jump.
The signature EO move.
Yeah, I mean, she always talks about. She says there's not much skill to it. You just kind of put the trash can and you just kind of jump.
They need to add that in 2K.
You'd be able to
do that.
Yeah, if you
only with EO Sky.
It should be like her OMG finisher moment. If you get all your finisher things up,
right,
and you grab a trash can, you can somehow do
go to the corner and press the button. And
you can
put a cutscene on there.
However, the Raquel ended up getting the big win.
Yeah.
And I think she pinned Io Sky, Io Shirai.
Right.
Who at the time I believe was NXT Women's Champion. So this kind of helped set up Raquel to eventually get a title shot.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, she was champion.
Yeah. Move on to the next one, which was the men's War Games from last year.
Yeah, hype. That one's probably my favorite one of all these, just because so much was happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was Judgment Day.
And Drew McIntyre.
Versus Seth Rollins.
Sami Zayn.
Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso.
And then Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I was going to save Randy for last.
Yeah. Because if you really think about it, if you remember, they never mention Randy by name.
Yeah.
They never say Randy Orton is our tag team or our 5th member.
Yeah.
They never say that. So,
they definitely put a lot of hints out.
But they're obviously it's Randy.
Yeah. Saying he has voices in his heads and stuff of course it's Randy Orton.
But a banger match.
Before the match, they're is Randy showing up? He's no, he's not here yet, and all this stuff.
At first, it looked like Damian Priest was going to cash in.
Yeah.
Mid-match.
Then we hear the music.
Everyone
was hype. Randy was hype.
And he was looking good. You see that, dude?
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
Good.
Of course, we get the win.
Yeah, which with JD getting thrown off, and Orton hitting RKO.
It was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Great match.
Which helped lead the way to the return of CM Punk.
Yeah, this Survivor Series just set up so much.
Yeah.
Changed the show so much.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we get the return of CM Punk and Randy Orton. CM Punk being the biggest part of that.
Yeah.
Of course, because how many years? 11?
10 years.
10 years. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew McIntyre's heel turn, that was right after his heel turn.
He just turned heel.
Yeah.
And you just think about all that's happened since then.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. All these the heel turn with Kevin Owens.
Right.
Cody Rhodes is now the WWE champion.
It's crazy. But yeah, it was probably one of my favorite matches out of all these. All these matches are great, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So, how we're going with... Let's go and talk about our next matches for next week. We're going with these themes. Since it's the 10-year anniversary of the New Day, I thought we'd do a New Day theme.
Let's go.
There we go. Let me pull my notes up. 1 second, fellas. Oh, here we go. All right, number 1. We're going to do the New Day versus the Revival at TLC 2019.
Okay.
Number 2, the New Day and the Usos at Hell in a Cell 2017.
You got to have them.
You got to have that one.
That tag team rivalry is just legendary.
And I want to do something a little special.
Okay.
the first ever New Day tag team match
Okay.
on SmackDown November 28th, 2014.
Okay.
The New Day versus Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, and Titus O'Neil.
Okay.
Here we go. I just felt like we needed to put that in there.
All right. If we can find it, we'll
I'm sure
watch
we
it.
can find it. It'll take a
We'll
minute.
watch it.
I'm sure it's on YouTube as well.
And I bet it's not a very long match.
Yeah, it's
I
probably
bet
short.
it's a pretty quick match.
But I wanted to see...
Was that Usos match, was that a Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Their big Hell in a Cell match?
The Hell in the Cell match, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't forget that one.
Can't forget that
That was
banger.
one of the best. But yeah. If we could find that third one, we'll do it.
Oh, their first match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we could, because we
sure
found
there's
other matches that were on like SmackDown, Raw, and stuff before.
Yeah. All right, well, there's the homework.
There's your homework. If you have Peacock, check it out.
Check it out.
Peacock.
You can find them on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah. I do that sometimes if I don't feel like searching all
A
around.
lot of ads, though. I was
Yeah.
watching these Wargames matches on YouTube.
Oh, really?
And it's just so many ads.
I watched them on Peacock.
It's like, oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah. It was a great match, though. Those were great matches.
Overall, what do you think of these last couple of weeks
Of
WWE?
We're definitely setting up for a lot of things. But
Putting a lot of stock in Saturday night's main event.
I feel like all the main like big things happening right now is not even in the main title pictures. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Gunther and Finn Balor.
Not a big
I'm betting.
Damian Priest.
Do you think they're gonna? When I'm thinking, do you think they're gonna open the show, or do you think they're gonna put some stock and let the Women's United States Championship match open the show?
I don't know. It's just
because you have to think. You would think, right? Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens is main event in the night.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing with me, like Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, that match I'm ready to see. Cody Rhodes is probably going to win because of The Rock, and it's just like with we didn't have enough build up for Gunther and Finn Balor as well. So I feel like it's just like those two title matches.
And you got to think
they're the main titles, and I'm not feeling it as much as the other matches.
And you got to think we also were going to have. And as far as I know, it's only a 2-hour show. As far as I know, so there's already 3 title matches, and then there's a 4th one with Liv Morgan and Io Sky.
Right.
So there's already for the 2-hour show. There's already 4 title matches. I'm assuming there's not going to be any more.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to try and put some grudge matches in there as well. Maybe American Made versus Alpha Academy.
Maybe.
Maybe something to do with Wyatt Six. I don't know.
I feel like that after this thing on Raw, it'll be somewhat over. I don't think they'll put it on main event.
Yeah.
Who knows, though?
Who knows?
Who knows?
But I would probably, if I was booking the show, I would have the Women's United States Championship open the show.
Yeah.
To put some status on that, and then I'd have Cody and Kevin Owens close it out.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Let us know what y'all think.
There is going to be another Saturday Night's Main Event next month. The week before the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Because they want to add a lot to this. They want to...
Yeah, and let's keep in mind, once we hit that first Raw on Netflix, it's time to start gearing up for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, everything is going to pop off.
It's like, let's start gearing up, because Mania is a few months away from that. It seems they've now pushed everything back a little bit, so everything's a little later.
Yeah.
Because Elimination Chamber might not be until early March or very late February. And WrestleMania is like late April.
Yeah. So that's all of our stuff for this episode. We had a lot of covering stuff. Our next episode will probably be
shorter
because we'll do it on Wednesday.
Much shorter.
We're trying to get on the Wednesday schedule.
Yes, Wednesday schedule is easier.
Not Saturday, because I have to work in like 2 hours.
Look, I was coughing my guts out all this last week.
It's okay. It's okay, man. But we appreciate y'all.
We never even mentioned that we're in a different room.
Yeah, we are in a different room. It won't stay like this, though. We'll move. It's just for today. But yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, get us out of here. Or you got something else to say?
I don't know if we will be able to do it Wednesday. I'll talk to you after the podcast, though.
Okay.
All right. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith. Wax stripping more in the next episode. We'll see y'all.